Gladiator Arena, Los Angeles, California, where the American Gladiators stand ready to take on America's best contenders. Hi again, everyone. I'm Mike Adamle, along with NFL Hall of Famer Larry Zonka. Glad you could join us, and we're not going to waste any time getting physical. The Joust is our first event, and our contender, Cathy Marshall, as the women start things off, she'll have to square off against 6'3" of Sky, and there she is.
That's a big test early in the morning. Cathy's a fine arts student from Hofstra University, 5'6", 130 pounds.
And she's no stranger to the Joust. She had a pretty good battle in the prelims. Sky sure to test her here. Once again, 30 seconds to try to knock that Gladiator off the platform. Contender can do that. It is worth 10 points, and Cathy goes down early. Sky with just a couple of little flicks, and down she goes.
Cathy's so intent on taking out Sky, she wasn't paying attention to her footing. Check it out right here. You can see her nice wide stance. She's looking at Sky. Look at that left foot. It just slips off the edge, and there she goes. Very frustrating way to kick things off. But you can see how she lost her concentration about her stance. Sky doing a great job of keeping those face shots, those head shots, keeping Cathy off balance.
Well, next up will be Annette McBride, 28 years old, from Boise, Idaho, where she works for the Bureau of Land Management and Aircraft Operations. An outstanding alpine skier. She's also a competitive bodybuilder. Trying to put some of that strength to good use here. And Sky keeping Annette on the defensive.
Annette really unable to deliver any kind of a blow. Sky takes her down.
She doesn't so much use her power, punching power, as she uses the leverage that she has with those long arms.
Annette's very upset. She's smiling, but she intended on winning this match. You know, you're exactly right, Mike. Sky does not use that much power. She just paws at the contender. Look at this. She actually uses her leverage more than her power. Throws Annette off balance, and away she goes.
Sky goes 2 for 2. Cathy Marshall and Annette McBride come up empty in event number 1. The men are set to joust. A look at our Gladiator Viper, very aggressive up there. He'll square off against 25-year-old Ted LePage. Ted won his preliminary round match against Roger Hughes. Former University of Missouri football star, is a real battler in the joust. He took Turbo almost to the limit. Oh, look at Ted LePage.
Viper swinging so hard that he got himself off balance, opened himself up for that thrust by Ted. Ted timely with it, pushed Viper right off the back of the platform.
You know, Larry, when you hit a man as hard as you can and the contender doesn't go anywhere, it kind of shakes you up. Ted didn't budge after some of Viper's shots. That rattled Viper, and down he went. All right, now a look at Joe Kettle, 26 years old, from San Francisco, California, where he's a substitute science teacher in high school, an outstanding downhill skier back at the University of Vermont. Viper looking for a little R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
He landed the first blow. Viper not really unleashing a blast of blows, just taking his time.
Viper has a tendency sometimes to let up. Viper gets the victory because Joe Kettle hooked Viper's stick underneath the crux of his arm, and that results in automatic disqualification. So the joust is history, but here at Gladiator Arena, things are just beginning to heat up.
The Samuel Goldwyn Company presents the American Gladiator.
One event down, 7 to come here at Gladiator Arena, and in our second round matches so far, 3 of our 4 contenders have yet to get on the board. I think the Gladiators partly responsible for that. One man in the men's competition, Ted LePage, however, has impressed us. He's not the quickest of contenders, but he may be one of the most powerful ones.
Well, it would be nice to be quick, but you do what you have to do to win, and that's what Ted did. He came out and got 10 points. Of course, our Gladiators are back there licking their wounds, but they're getting ready to suffer the bruises of human Cannonball now.
Each contender given 2 swings, each successful swing worth 5 points. There's a look at the score coming into this event. Ted with that 10-0 lead. Contenders have momentum on their side, and there's the draw. When it comes to remaining solid, Turbo and Tower, two of the best. Here comes Joe and Ted, and Ted able to knock Turbo off, but the Tower of Power like a rock.
Ted, utilizing that weight, did not really have a good tuck, but he had a good straight swing. Meets up with Turbo just right, sweeps him from the platform. Ted now going up against our biggest Gladiator. About a 25-pound difference from Turbo to Tower. We'll see if Ted can have a little better form this time. He's going to need it to take Tower off.
Tower is yet to be knocked off in this event. Here comes 200 pounds of Ted LePage. Well, there's a first time for everything, and this time Turbo hangs in there against Joe Kettle. Ted goes 2 for 2 and gets another 5 points.
And again, Mike, he does it without great form. He's not really tucked into a tight cannonball, has his legs out a little bit, but look at that hip action. Just enough to take Tower right off that platform.
Generating momentum on the mind of Cathy Marshall and Annette McBride. Here's the look our two Gladiators have here in Cumin Cannonball, Diamond and Siren. Diamond will take on Cathy first. Siren draws at net.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready!
Good straight swings by both our contenders.
First to two.
Oh, picture perfect with their form. Tucked into that tight cannonball configuration. Swept both our Gladiators right off.
And you can see that both Siren and Diamond never had a chance, but they get a second chance here. Second swing coming up. They flip-flop Gladiators. Here they come. Cathy and Annette looking to be successful again. That time, they weren't as efficient.
Exactly, Mike. Neither contender was in a straight line. You can see them as they swing and drop off, how askew the ropes are against where the platforms are located. You've got to swing in a straight line.
Still 5 points for both Annette and Cathy. Event number 3, hang tough, and a look at our Gladiator Storm.
Can get her. I'm gonna try to pull her down hard, pull her down real hard.
Well, this may be Storm's best event. Hang tough, the ring game where contenders have 60 seconds to make it across this grid of 55 rings. Cathy Marshall is up first. Her and Annette McBride currently tied at 5 points apiece after 2 events. Storm will try to crowd Cathy and give her a little room to maneuver.
Cathy going for it, heading straight into Storm. Literally into her. Well, she's
by her. Not for long.
Oh, she's not. Bad position to be in.
Look at Cathy, she's got her eyes closed. She senses the impending doom. 30 seconds left on the clock. Storm's gonna be real nice about it.
That Storm's a classy gal. Make sure Cathy stays in the competition and not getting hurt by landing on her. Storm very efficient in this event. Closes the gap. She's got that scissors action down to a science. Now it's pretty much all over. But watch this. After she rips Cathy off, there's 2 sides to Storm. The rage and then the patience. And here she describes the calm part of Storm.
Annette McBride now, in 1990, she was Miss Idaho bodybuilding champion. And here she is on display, one of her posing routines. Just one of the many things that Annette does. She's also an aspiring firefighter. But now her task at hand is somehow get by Storm. Gives her a little wink. She's ready to go. Storm with a superlative record in hang tough.
Ready! Gladiator ready!
60 seconds the time limit.
Annette with that upper body strength. Say something else about Annette. She's relaxed out here. Oh, buddy. Storm almost had a hold of that ring that Annette was on.
You know, so many times we see contenders and gladiators, for that matter, get into trouble. How quickly they react from that trouble and start themselves going is another thing. Annette McBride, however.
Oh, she's pulling her wrong. There you go.
Looking pretty good. Storm has lost some momentum. If she lets go, she's got it.
Go ahead, drop on.
You've got it. You've got it.
No, Annette, you were on the platform.
Oh, Larry. 10 seconds left to go on the clock. If she can hang tough, she'll get 5 points for the draw. Oh, man.
She did not realize that she was over top of the platform. She was so concerned with that next ring, Mike. She could have just turned loose and dropped for 10 points. Son of a gun. Oh, that hurts. You can see it right here in the replay. Right there, she's over the corner of the platform. She was worried about that next ring, and it cost her. Annette,
you had your little toe perched on that platform. How come you didn't let go? You had it.
I just couldn't get up far enough to get my footing to stay on the darn thing. Then I had a monster around me.
You're strong, but not that strong. 7 seconds were left on the clock, but a nice job.
Nice job, nice job.
Here we go. Down they come.
Here we go, down they come. The words from Sabre as the men are set to hang tough. Ted LePage with a 20-0 lead over Joe Kettle. Joe Kettle first here.
Looks fairly at home on the rings. Good strong upper body. Cutting a straight path right down the rings. One more move, he could beat by Sabre.
Sabre momentarily had his back to Joe, and Joe couldn't take advantage of that. Now he's lost all momentum completely and in real trouble.
4, 5.
25 seconds left on the clock.
Sabre seeing an opportunity to close in.
Here he comes.
Sabre can't hook onto that belt, pulled Kettle in. Sabre unaware that Kettle's right behind him.
8 seconds left to go. Now Sabre's got him, and try as Joe Kettle might, he lasted up there for 55 seconds, but finally Sabre able to do him in. And now Ted LePage will get his shot, an outstanding athlete in high school, as you can see, but his accomplishments more of a product of hard work and determination as opposed to athletic talent. His nickname is Underdog, a moniker that stuck when he surprised everybody, making it as a walk-on on the University of Missouri football team. Later going on to make honorable mention, Albigate, strong safety.
I'm not a very great athlete, I'm not a very great person, but everything I do, I work to achieve. I overachieve. I'm a very big overachiever. I just try to compete as hard as I can at whatever I do.
Before distinguishing himself as a Division I football player in college, Ted turned heads by winning the Missouri State High School Wrestling Championship, 185-pound category. So look for this man who was raised on a farm outside of Columbia, Missouri, to come on strong and once again prove that the underdog can come out a winner.
I try not to look back, and I try not to look forward too much. I try to take things as they happen right now.
Well, what's happening right now for Ted LePage is Sabre in hang tough.
Last one. He's coming down like the first one, though.
This is not one of Ted's better events. Lasted 21 seconds against Turbo.
LePage with that strong lower body, not all that strong in his upper body. He is close to Sabre. Oh, could have gotten that ring.
And he is in serious trouble now. This is just a matter of time. Sabre's got the only hand Ted had on the ring, and down Mr. LePage goes.
Sabre getting that scissors-like action down pat, much like Storm. Once he gets his legs around Ted, well, that's all she wrote. Down he comes.
So Sabre gets some congratulations from his Gladiator teammates, and we're going to stay in the sky. Our next event, Skytrack. Event number 4 here at Gladiator Arena in the second round match, Skytrack. And there's a look at the course, which is suspended from the arena ceiling. This thing weighs 7 tons. It is a monster just to construct. There's a look at our 3 contestants, 1 gladiator, 2 contenders. They are hooked in. It's like a slot car race upside down. The object in Skytrack is to go all the way to the end of the course, turn around and race back, beat the gladiator and win the race, 10 points, finish second, then you get 5. Okay, in lane 1, it'll be Joe Kettle. Lane 2, our Gladiator Turbo. Lane 3, Ted LePage. And that's going to be an uneasy feeling when that platform lowers underneath our 3 combatants. Turbo fast out of the blocks in lane 2. Here comes Joe Kettle. The first to reach turn 2. He's in lane number 1 and really turning it on.
Joe doing a great job with his hands, but he's not using his legs in the turn, and that cost him.
He was the first to reach the turnaround point, but Turbo, using his legs, overtook him. Turbo heading for home. He will win this race easily, but Joe Kettle, if he can keep on scrambling and hang on, he will get 5 points for being the first contender across. 5 points for Joe Kettle.
This was really a workout for Joe Kettle. Check out this beginning. Look at Turbo. Way out in front. Obviously one of his better events. Very relaxed upside down. Good use of hands and feet at the same time. Joe staying up with him. But here's where Joe runs into some problems on the turnaround. He gets a little too sticky. And his legs are tired. As a result, he falls well behind Turbo, but still manages to pull out 5 points.
Our women now ready to try their hand here in Skytrack. In lane 1, it'll be Annette McBride. In lane 2, our Gladiator Storm. In lane 3, Cathy Marshall.
Contenders ready. Gladiator ready.
The trick is to maintain control in those turns. Storm doing a great job of it.
So is Annette McBride. She's in lane 1. She has the lead right now.
Yeah, every few strokes with her hands, she accents it with her feet.
Storm, however, the first to reach the turnaround point, but Annette McBride right there. This could be close.
Annette lost it a little bit in that first turn.
Storm has never let up. She's been consistent all the way.
Strike a certain rhythm in there with your hands and your feet. Storm certainly has it.
And Annette McBride, for being the first contender across the finish line, picks up 5 points.
Girls come out of the blocks perfectly, actually staying pretty even throughout the race. Annette beginning to have some problems as she comes into the turnaround. Right in here, has a little trouble hitting that button. Now her legs are tired, and she loses a little control, and wham, hits the mat right there. But she still hangs in there and picks up 5 points.
We are halfway home here in our second round matchups in the women's competition. Annette McBride has a 10-5 lead on Cathy Marshall. Ted LePage 20, Joe Kettle 5. He clearly has the upper hand. Our next event is Breakthrough and Conquer, and manning that for the Gladiators will be Laser and Turbo. Laser and Breakthrough, Turbo in the conquering. Usually you go against contenders that present problems because of their quickness and speed. And Ted LePage, you may have a man who has a little bit of both. Laser, your strategy is against Ted, being that he's a former football player and a good one from Missouri.
Well, you know, I got to be heads up for him. He carries a lot of weight with him. He's quick. He's fast. I'm just going to have to go out there and put my head down and give it all I have.
Turbo, how about inside the conquering against a man who's about 205 pounds?
The key there, I think, is going to be for me not to allow him to get his hands on me. If he gets in tight, there's not a lot of room. It may look like it, but there's not a lot of room in that circle. If he gets his hands on me, it's pretty easy for him to get a piece of my body out. I just got to keep shucking him and keep his hands off me.
Gentlemen, you've been a dynamic duo all day long. Keep it going. Good luck.
All right. Okay.
But when we come back, the women will go at it in Breakthrough and Conquer. We're going to kick off the second half of our competition with breakthrough and conquer. The women will start first. A look now at Annette McBride from Boise, Idaho. She has a 10-5 lead over Cathy Marshall. She gets diamond in breakthrough and siren in the conquer ring.
Annette McBride, I wonder if she has any flag football experience, Larry.
Look at her, Mike. She's got her shoulders upfield. She even holds the ball well.
5 points for each successful segment. Annette trying to make a nice move. She did make a nice move. Diamond didn't square up. That was easy. 5 points there.
Annette doing a great job. Let's take a look at it on the Zonkostrator right here. She sets to her right, gets Diamond to take the fake. And once Diamond does take the fake right here, she can't get back. That leaves Annette a lot of pay dirt room to run to, and she takes advantage of it. This is an excellent job by Annette. Let's take a look at it from a couple of other angles. You can see Diamond throw her weight over to the left. That little hesitation, that's just enough for a running back to get around a middle linebacker. Here it is from Diamond's helmet cam. See a little stutter step, plants her foot, comes back. This is how close Diamond was to stopping her, but no cigar.
Siren, remember, can't hear that whistle. She has to look at Larry Thompson's hand signal. Annette's got precious little time to get Siren outside that conquer ring. 6 seconds left on the clock. And there she did it.
3 seconds left.
A full 10 points for Annette McBride.
Annette's a tough customer. Head-to-head, nose-to-nose, she's going to take some points from you.
Aggression, quickness, and watch Annette's strength. That was the difference, as she is able to power a mighty Siren outside of that ring. In the 4 previous events, Cathy Marshall has been a bit tentative in her efforts, but after watching what Annette did, let's see if that'll pick up her spirits a bit. She faces Diamond in breakthrough. Looking for a move and faked herself out.
One thing you can't do, Mike, you got to come down, make a definite move one way or the other and go for it. You can't dance. If you dance, you're dead. Diamond laid her down.
This is the view from Diamond's helmet cam, and this is how easy Cathy Marshall made it on Diamond. You're not going to overpower that woman. You dance, you're dead. You're right, Larry. She was dead. Now she's got 15 seconds to try to knock any part of Siren's body outside that ring. Siren, very powerful.
Siren. Cathy's got her around the waist and literally going for a ride.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is it. Siren, mighty tough in that conquer ring, and it is not easy to keep from being pulled out.
Cathy gets in good position, gets her arms around Siren right here. You can see if she can get Siren off her feet, she'll be in control, but Siren's just so powerful that she says no way.
Larry Zonka, you talk about tough draws. Here you've spent the halftime in the locker room kind of cooling down, thinking ahead, and who do you draw in breakthrough and conquer? 2 of the best, Laser and Turbo.
It's like coming out at halftime, Mike, and looking across the line at Joe Green and LC Greenwood. You know it's going to be a long second half.
Well, it could be a long day here for Joe Kettle. He's up first, currently trailing Ted LePage 20-5. In the prelims, Laser was able to take him down in breakthrough, and once again he does it.
Boy, spider in the fly. Laser doing a great job, assuming that linebacker position, then driving him out of bounds once he makes his move. Laser with his heels on the goal line comes up field to meet it, and then just pushes him out of bounds.
Let's see if Joe fares any better with Turbo in the conquer ring.
Joe's got to get in under that upper powerful body of Turbo. He's trying.
Turbo controlling the body.
Turbo can't lay on him, though. He has to get up.
And staying inside that ring.
Good job by our 2 Gladiators. Turbo doing a good job of countering everything that's thrown at him. Not only with upper body strength, but also with a lot of lateral speed.
Well, their day's not done, however, because one more contender to go, Ted LePage. Currently with a 25 lead over Joe Kettle. Once again, Laser and breakthrough, Turbo in the conquer ring. And as his record suggests, most at home in breakthrough is Laser. And our Gladiator powerhouse, the subject of our Ask a Gladiator segment, Brent Ball writes, "Dear Laser, what exercises and stretches do you do to get ready for a show?"
Hi, Brent. As far as my stretching and exercises that I do prior to each event, I warm up with weights very light. I do about 15-20 reps per body part, and that includes my whole body. And as far as the stretching, I do about 15-20 minutes of my whole body, and I warm up real well, and I'm ready to blast them. Thanks for writing in.
Blast him and never relax, and Laser knows he can't relax here against Ted LePage, who has proven himself most worthy.
Nice
Pretty
move.
Nice move.
Nice
He stays
move.
in bounds. All Laser can get is jersey.
Classic move. He come up committed. Laser went for it. He backed out of it. A little sideways hop, a little bunny move, but that's all right. If it works, it works. Peyton made a living at it. Two things happen here. LePage makes a great move, and Laser plants his feet right there. He's flat-footed for the move. And as a result, LePage has just enough room to get around. All Laser could get was a little bit of his jersey. Check this out from the helmet cam. This is how close Laser was. Even after he had to recover, he still strips his jersey right off. But the ball goes in the end zone.
Well, they're going to let Ted go with half a jersey against Turbo.
Ted with that nice up high move tried to slide underneath Turbo.
Turbo doing a great job of controlling Ted's head. His helmet goes flying, 7 seconds left.
Look at Ted pursuing.
Oh, finally with 3 seconds left on the clock. And a great display of sportsmanship there.
Absolutely. Turbo got ahead, but I'll tell you what, he knew what the kid went through to do it, but he acknowledged it as they were laying there on the ground. That's what this show is all about, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I'd call him the underdog or the comeback kid. He does a great job here. He finds himself right in the middle of Turbo, and he takes it.
Ted, be nice now. You got 3 more events to come.
Yes, sir. As they said earlier, it was like playing professional football, and that's always been a desire of mine. And gosh dang, for a second, I thought I was out there. These guys are great. You were, man.
Excellent stuff. And when's the last time you've ever heard gosh dang? We'll be back after this. The wall is our next event for our contenders here in this second round match. Cathy Marshall trailing Annette McBride 20-5. We've made this event harder for the Gladiators. We are going to give the contenders a 15-second head start now. A look at Annette, and she'll be followed by Diamond. Diamond with an excellent record. Cathy Marshall will be pursued by Siren. Siren has yet to lose in this event. She has pulled off every contender she has met.
And that's very good at the wall. This 15-second lead is really going to help her tremendously. But I think her secret is that she doesn't really plot it out. She just more or less attacks the wall. And that's what the real champions do.
She does some rock climbing back in Boise, Idaho. Here come the Gladiators chasing after Cathy Marshall. Is Siren in pursuit of Annette McBride is Diamond right now. And right now it's Cathy Marshall, who was unsuccessful in her preliminary wall attempt. Again, the first contender up there will get 10 points, and it's going to be Cathy Marshall. If Annette can make it up, she'll pick up 5. 20 seconds left on the clock. And looky here, we've got the daily double.
Absolutely. Both our contenders doing an excellent job. I think you can see just what that extra 5-second head start means. Look at the leads Annette and Cathy have on our Gladiators. Mike, I'll be honest with you, I don't think a 10-second head start would have made any difference. These two girls move like experienced mountain climbers. Cathy hoisting herself up there for 10 points. Annette right behind her. She grabs the top. Watch her hoist herself here. Picks up 5.
So let's see if that head start advantage works for the men. A look at Joe Kettle, who's desperately in need of points. He'll be followed up by Turbo. Joe has been overpowered in some of the more physical events, but in the technical events, he should be good, like the wall. And here he is at home back in his Oakland area practicing on one of those indoor walls.
15 seconds. It's the real deal right there.
That's the key right there. I'm not letting go no matter what.
And indeed, Ted LePage will be looking over his shoulder because Viper will be in pursuit of him. Joe Kettle equipped with climbing shoes.
Look at Ted. Moving very well.
Joe Kettle just 158 pounds, so the forces of gravity much more benign to him than they are to a man who weighs 200 Ted's weight. They're looking good. I'll tell you what, Larry, they're looking great.
That's the highest I've ever seen Ted on the wall.
30 seconds left. Joe Kettle up and over. He gets to 10. Ted LePage may get to 5 because he's up there too. Bingo. The contenders have done it.
Well, all that practice paid off for Joe Kettle. Check this out. No wasted motion. Every movement counts. Not only does he maintain his balance and grip, but he's fast about it. Looks just like he did on his video. Ted, on the other hand, carrying that extra 20 pounds, well, that makes a difference.
This is a tower of power. Contenders, you better be ready for Powerball, because you know I am. Take a look at those guns.
It is crunch time here on the American Gladiators. Today's crunch time event, Powerball. Contenders have 45 seconds to score as many times as they can. Goals in the outer cylinder here in the second round worth 3 points. A goal in that center cylinder worth 5 points. Joe Kettle and Ted LePage. Ted with the 35-15 lead. Our trio of Gladiators, Viper, Laser, and Tower.
And Powerball is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Super NES. Now you're playing with power. Super power.
Contenders ready.
And our science teacher from San Francisco, Joe, would do well to get one in that center kettle.
Whoa. One in the center kettle.
Right now, however, Laser, Viper, and Tower laying down the law. LePage finally scores. 30 seconds remain.
Nice move by Ted. 2-on-1 confrontation, makes a nice move.
Joe Kettle will play the remaining 15 seconds without his shirt. He finally gets one in. And
stopping this match for a second. Joe Kettle down on the sideline. Everything's happened so fast by that cylinder, I wasn't quite sure what happened.
Here we have it, an instant replay. Watch Joe's chin, bam! Viper gets a forearm up, intentional or no. Either way, Joe eats it. The classic shot from the helmet cam, elbow right on the jaw. That's a violation of the rules. Larry Thompson saw it. He'll make the ruling.
Joe Kettle looks to be okay. He's going to get back and go at it again.
We have a disqualification of Viper, forearm to the face area. The game will continue 11 seconds, 2 contenders, 1-on-1.
Well, Viper, a good sport about things.
Mike, wrapped up in the heat of the moment. I think Viper did go to the head. There's no question he went to the head, but I don't think his intent was to injure the contender.
Absolutely. Right before that happened, Ted LePage put one in that center cylinder with 5 points. He gets one again.
Oh! Ted tries to duck under.
1 second remains. That is it. Ted LePage. Joe Kettle put on a nice show. Good go-round here in Powerball.
Okay, what a dangerous moment. Ted LePage tries to duck under Tower. Tower grabs him by the head, drives him into the mat. Tell you what, that was a heck of a hit. Joe Kettle having trouble down at this corner. Earlier on in the match, he catches this hit, returns to the same corner a little while later, and bam, he gets a zonk right on the chin.
Well, Cathy Marshall and Annette McBride will try to stay out of Zonk's way against our trio of Gladiators. Right now, Annette with a 25-15 lead. There they are, Zap, Storm, and Sky.
Contenders ready. Gladiators ready.
Larry Thompson starts the match. Annette McBride starts by scoring one past Sky. Annette McBride with a nice duck under move.
That's the difference in Annette and Cathy. Annette drives hard right at the basket. Gets the ball in. Cathy kind of lofts it, more or less throws it in. She doesn't jam it in.
It was successful that time against Storm. 10 seconds remain here. Yeah, she really needs to finish it off.
Yeah, she got a great move, but when she gets up there, she got to jam that ball in that basket. Again, she misses.
When time expires, Zap and Storm and Sky collaborate in a stingy effort against our two contenders.
Now watch. Zap and Sky are covering Cathy Marshall up here. Now Zap falls off and moves to the opposite side of the court while Sky stays with Cathy. Zap, you see her right here in the center. Her role is to guard the center cylinder and also roam with the action. Now she and Storm are poised on the opposite side of the floor, leaving a 2-on-2 situation with no way out for either Cathy or Shannon Williams. This is textbook Powerball.
And some textbook work by Zap here as she delivers the perfect hit on Cathy Marshall. And from Sky's helmet cam, why Powerball isn't for the faint of heart. Annette McBride knows she's going to get nailed, gets nailed, but still scores anyway. Some great work all the way around on the part of our women. Coming up, we'll decide it all. The Eliminator is next. Our second round showdown about to come to a close in the Eliminator. Our women will start things off. Boise, Idaho's Annette McBride has been tough enough. She is currently have a 13-point lead on Cathy Marshall of New York, good for a 6.5-second head start. Is our honor student from Hofstra University too legit to quit? Let's find out with Larry Zonka.
Kath, they've been saying too legit to quit in reference to you. 6.5-second deficit. Does it dampen your spirits?
No, I just figure there's always a chance for anything. You know, I've been like that all night. I've been doing the best I can, and there's always a chance, and I'm having a good time, so it doesn't matter.
Great smile, great attitude. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, Larry, Cathy has made pretty good on her second chance. Remember, she got a berth in the second round because of an injury to Tracy Ann Jernigan, but she does face that 6.5-second deficit. Annette McBride set to go on course for the Gladiators underneath the handbike, ready to impose a penalty if need be should the contenders fall off. It'll be Storm and Siren, and activating the gauntlet down the final straightaway. They are really pushing and pumping that thing. It's Diamond and Sky. And the Eliminator is sponsored by Starburst Fruit Chews. The juice is loose. Annette a little tentative on that reverse treadmill, but she made it up. Here comes Cathy Marshall. Annette clean across the handbike. Now the spinning cylinder, and she makes that as well. Annette McBride very steady on the cargo net. Cathy Marshall hasn't made any mistakes either. Cathy's previous best Eliminator time, 59 seconds. That was in her preliminary round loss. Annette's best time, 55 seconds. That could be in jeopardy here. Final straightaway coming up. Annette takes one peek over the corner of her shoulder to see where Cathy was. Not a problem. It's going to be Annette McBride advancing to the semifinals. Cathy Marshall not too far behind.
Annette, you've been in control all day long. The same situation in the Eliminator. Was there ever a point when you were concerned?
The joust, definitely. I don't enjoy that whatsoever.
How about in the Eliminator? When you felt the other contender hit the net, you felt Cathy hit the net beside you, did you think your lead was big enough?
Frankly, I didn't even feel her hit the net.
Well, it worked.
Kept thinking about myself.
All right. Well, whatever you did, you did it right. Congratulations and welcome to the semifinals.
Thank you, Leah.
All right, Mike.
Larry, Annette's time, 58 seconds, and Cathy was able to cut into Annette's 6.5-second lead as she turned in an Eliminator time of 55 seconds. Annette McBride moving on to the semifinals. In the men's competition, Columbia, Missouri's Ted LePage has gained plenty of respect from the Gladiators. Right now, his 33-point lead gives the former Big 8 football star a commanding 16.5-second head start over San Francisco's Joe Kettle. For Kettle, it's one last chance. Maybe he has something up his sleeve. He's with Larry at the start line.
16.5-second deficit, Joe. Do you have any magic acts planned for us?
Well, I tied Ted's shoelaces together in the locker room when he wasn't looking, so I think I'll. No, all I can do is concentrate, make no mistakes, and go the best I can.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Larry, Joe Kettle certainly has the skill to smoke this course. The question is, will he be fast enough to overcome Ted's lead? Contenders can incur penalties by falling off some of the different apparatus. For instance, the hand bike. Underneath the hand bike on course, with the Gladiators tower and laser ready to impose a 7-second penalty if need be. And then down that final straightaway, this is the last obstacle that the Contenders will have to face. There's Saber and Viper. Joe Kettle still at the start line, hoping for Ted LePage to make a mistake. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Ted is bounding over this course. The big difference between Ted LePage and Joe Kettle has been Ted's success in the more physical events. Joe's certainly talented, but his talent's more tailored towards the technical events. Ted LePage, mistake-free, just the final straightaway remains. Couple of problems with those blocking W's over the final hurdle. He's done it in impressive fashion. Ted LePage goes on to the semifinals. His time, 47 seconds. Joe Kettle's time, Larry Zonka, 37 seconds.
Ted, you've certainly excelled in the physical events this afternoon.
Well, I just got on a hot streak and I just kept going. I'd like to dedicate this to my parents and my family back home. I'm the youngest of 7 children. They've never missed anything. They're dying back home, so Mom, Dad, Tom, and Gert, this is for you, baby.
Ted,
the rest of my family.
Ted, you're a humble man and a great athlete. Congratulations and welcome to the semifinals, my friend.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Mike?
And all of his science students back in Oakland, California have a lot to be proud of in their teacher, Joe Kettle. Well, that's it from Gladiator Arena. For Larry Zonka, I'm Mike Adamley. We'll see you next week.